Daily Hour. We are back on. It is Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, and we are on with Pamela Tanamura. She is tuning in from Brazil. I am currently in Los Angeles, and today we're going to be talking more about oils and things.
Oils and things. So we never have a very specific theme, but usually we're going to talk about whatever happened during the day. And something that's popping up a lot is talking about health, but not considering that it's just one thing in general, right? How we have been so focused, hyper focused on what's going on, and we forgot the real reason why the world is sick. Ooh, that's a big one. And that's all the talks I had about this today. So we can start doing that, but saying hello Avi, Dirty, hola, ¿cómo estás?
I agree. I think that this is a huge topic right now, and I think people are forgetting what we need to be healthy. So I think it'd be a really cool time to talk about the wellness pyramid, right, Pam?
I think it's a great time to do that. And I did say that we're going to do a meditation today, but I don't have my singing bowls. So I want to do it when I have my singing bowls, and I will have it next Sunday. So next Sunday we'll do a meditation, but we can always start, Olivia, by just taking a big deep breath. So whatever you are, if you have essential oils handy, grab one of your favorite essential oils. Mine is always frankincense. This is my thing. And which one did you grab, Olivia?
The rose, of course.
Oh, of course. So, and you can just take a deep, deep, big breath. So maybe think about this during your whole day. Do you stop to take a deep breath? So this might be the only time that you consciously stopped to take a deep breath, a deep, deep breath, and close your eyes for a second. Usually, when we wake up, we open our eyes and we don't consciously close our eyes again, right? We're always on the go, always doing, always being, always watching, always on. And it's important to me to just sometimes just close my eyes for a bit and start breathing in and out. And then I can get back to whatever I'm doing. So talking about the wellness pyramid, right? So if you guys don't know about the wellness pyramid, we have this, it's a lifestyle, right? We talk about doTERRA, it's a lifestyle. And in the very bottom of the pyramid, I even waited to take my supplements because it's all about nutrition. Who here takes supplements? Do you take supplements?
I do.
This is, yeah. Do you guys take supplements? This is only for nighttime. Like I do this like 3 times a day.
Yeah, same. So I need to take my nighttime packet of LLV.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bless you, Olivia.
Thank you.
And I used to be so annoyed by people that drank on their lives, but hey, it's important to drink water. So grab your water and drink. But here's something that I want to just plant a seed for us to get started. Can I?
Yes.
All right. So I don't know where this text came from, but he ended up on my phone, and I'm going to read it. It is the real reason why the world is so sick. Water supply is contaminated. Fresh food supply is full of poison. The rest of food is processed food. Not even food, right? We don't chew our food. We are nutrient deficient. We overconsume. The air is full of pollution. We are scared of the sun and wear sunscreen and sunglasses all of the time. We don't exercise enough. We sit in front of technology all day. We consume too much alcohol and caffeine. We are disconnected from our natural human instincts and our natural environment. We discount the knowledge of our ancestors. We are stressed because we live in a slave system, trying to earn money to support a Ponzi scheme. Our medicine is based on chemical warfare and petrochemicals. We lather our bodies and brush our teeth with chemicals. We're disconnected from the earth by wearing rubber on the soles of our feet all day. We aren't grateful and we don't practice mindfulness. We have unresolved emotional trauma in a constant state of fight or flight. We breathe too quickly and shallow. We are exposed to electromagnetic radiation. Our minds are infected by TV, radio, and Hollywood. So it's easy to just blame something outside that's going on, right? That we just hyper focus on instead of trying to figure out the combination of all of these things that are affecting us every single day. And if we just take one by one and start working on it, I bet you, I guarantee you, I promise you, things will start getting much better. So when I read this, I don't know how he ended up. It's on my notes. So probably somebody sent it to me. I saved it, and today it came up, and we talked about this on all the classes that I taught today, and it was such good talk that we had. I'm gonna send it to you, Olivia, so you have this handy too. I think this is, isn't it? I find like this so true. No,
Yes, text it to me so I can share it with everyone because I think that is really powerful.
I'm gonna put on the chat here on Habs.
Yay!
Um, and I believe this is the real reason why we are sick. So, and this is my commitment to myself and to the world is instead of blaming anything or do the blame game, I'm just gonna take care of it. I'm gonna work on it. Yeah. So I just put it on the chat, Chris, for you to see what I'm talking about. But it's basically things that we already know,
Yeah,
and it's about time that we take full responsibility for all of it
I agree.
because we're consuming it and we do it by choice. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, right?
Hmm.
They might try to, but
They might. I think people are trying to force us to do things.
yeah, but you have choice. So we need to address the elephant in the room, which is all of these little things that I mentioned. And we go back. I'm gonna make the bridge to the pyramid, the wellness pyramid. Bottom, nutrition. So let's talk a little bit about nutrition. Olivia, how was your nutrition for the longest time? You're so good with it, right?
Yeah. Well, I grew up eating basically trash. I ate like anybody else would, I think, growing up in America. So breakfast cereals were considered breakfast, and I really didn't believe in eating vegetables. I knew it existed, the concept, but I was also allergic to every fruit, and I just didn't eat vegetables or fruits. That was just not in my diet on a regular basis. And then about 10 years ago, I talked to a doctor about my allergies and eczema and um, and asthma, and they told me that I would never be able to do anything about it. That it would only get worse and worse and worse, and there was nothing I could do. And I was like, let me think about this for a second. Are you sure that the only way for me to fix this is for me to take more pharmaceutical prescribed drugs, or is there something wrong with my lifestyle? And so I closely examined it and I decided to take on smoothies and juices. And I did that for 1 year, every single day for a year. And it went away. It just, I was like, wow, I wish I knew this before I wasted all my life on all these different over the counter and prescription drugs that I had to take for my allergies and asthma and eczema. Like that was an incredible thing, and that's the power of nutrition, really. Exactly. True.
Then we go to exercise. Olivia, would you say that was the most challenging one?
I would say for me in the recent years, it was the most challenging. But growing up, I always was really bad at sports when it came to anything that was flying in the air. Basically, anything that had to do with like balls or objects flying in the air. That was not in my domain. But I really loved like martial arts growing up. I did ice skating. I was athletic in that way. And then eventually I figured out that I really love yoga, so I did yoga for a long time. And then in the recent years, actually really right before I met you, Pam, was when I guess quit exercising. And recently I decided that I was like, you know what? Maybe I should look back into it. So I did work out this week, 3.1 miles up and down a hill. Almost died, but
I was
But did you
impressed.
die?
no, no.
But did you die? That's what I tell her too.
But did
She
you
did a really
die?
good job. Because that's always her excuse. I'll pass out.
Right?
But she ate a little bit before, drank a juice, and she was good. She survived.
Absolutely. And and that is the question too. But did you try? That's one of the questions that I ask myself all of the time. When there is something I want to try that's new that I haven't tried and it's out of my comfort zone, I ask myself that. But hey, did you try it? Did you try it? If you haven't tried it, you can't comment on it. You can't say that you tried everything. And there is a comment here. He goes, Stephen, God damn, I see these people talking to each other in this video. This looks like an office meeting. What a surprise. What does that mean, Stephen?
I have no idea. I have no idea what
You're
that
very
means.
neutral right now with your comments, so I'm not sure what that means. But it's not an office meeting, and you can totally be part of our office meeting
Yeah.
if you want to. But we are every Sunday, for some of you that are new here, we talk about things and usually connected to, we are both leaders. We're all, not both, all of us are leaders in doTERRA. And we talk. So this is the thing. So today I went to teach my classes, right? And by the way, I don't even know what to put on the title, on the flyers for the invitations. Do you ever get yourself thinking that you're like, am I going to call this an essential oil class? Because that's a lie. Because we don't teach only about essential oils. Do we? We teach
No.
a whole lot more than just essential oils. Okay, but essential oils, I feel like they're the portal. They open up the world of possibilities, and then we go in and start planting the seeds and doing our work, our real work. So today, when I sat down on my first class, most of them, most of us were holistic therapists, yoga teachers, um, entrepreneurs on purpose. They all have recycling companies and also clothing that is sustainable. So all in the same niche of sustainability, circular economy, and all that good stuff. And they sat down and they were like, so we're gonna learn about some essential oils, right? I said, well, you will, but it's not only essential oils. You're gonna learn a little bit more than that. So by the time I got done, they were all like, this is crazy. This could totally be like a full-on training on how to live your life, but not really. So this is kind of like how I see it, is for everyone, for myself too. I needed easy tools for me to be able to just dip my toes into what could be possible. Because, by the way, I smoked, I drank, I, I was a crazy mess for a long time before I got to this place of being able to speak about my own true life experiences, right? So did Olivia. And that is why I'm so passionate about when we talk about this, the wellness pyramid. So when you talk about exercising, which has been one of the probably the most challenging for a lot of people, and we're not talking about super crazy exercise training like Chris does, because Chris is really committed to his physical uh, practices, but it's about just having a mentality of movement, to go up the stairs instead of taking the elevator, maybe walking to taking like to take your kids to school. Or I run to my office every day here. Instead of getting in the car, I consciously leave my things at the office, so I have all the things I need to shower for me to be able to run here. And that's another thing. If you get everything ready ahead of time, you're just going to do it the next day. So if you decide to run tomorrow or take a walk tomorrow, leave everything ready. The shoes that you're going to wear, the clothes, because those things might be something kind of, whatever, dumb. But if you do it, it makes a difference. Have you done this? Doesn't it make a difference when you get started?
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. I think anything that we want to get done or prepare for should be at least thought about at some point. I'm not the most spontaneous person, so I have to be mentally ready for things. Sometimes I am, but not often. I always tell Chris too. I'm like, don't surprise me. I hate surprises. I really don't like surprises. Please don't ever surprise me for with anything.
It kind of holds you accountable a little bit. So you leave it there, and then you see it. You see your clothes there, and then you almost feel bad if you don't do it, because then your clothes just sits there, or
Hmm.
whatever it is that you left ready, whether your AirPods or headphones or something like that. So then you see it, and then you're like, oh, I got to do it. I got to do it. You told yourself you were going to do it. So
It's that sentence that we use all the time for our trainings. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And that goes for everything. So for every single thing that you try to implement, supplements, for example, a lot of people tell me, I've bought so many and you didn't take it. So they won't do what they're supposed to do if you don't take them. And if you took them and you forgot, it's because they did not give you the results that you were expecting. Because if they changed something in you, you would not forget to do it, right? Because it makes you feel good. So getting in the habit, I think, is super important, and being able to start with little steps. And one of my things, especially for moms, and if you travel for work like I do, use an app so you don't have to go places to be able to get active. So for me, my commitment is 30 minutes a day. That's it, at least 30 minutes a day. Sometimes I go 45, but I have an app, and I use the app called Sweat, and that is an awesome app. I love them. They are so good. So that's a good app for mamas out there, for men too. My husband does Sweat as well. But all you need is a little space. So if you are in a hotel room or you are in between flights, I've done this in between flights, doesn't matter the time. You can do it wherever you are. So take wellness with you. And that's something that has been coming up throughout the week as well. Is, oh, I'm gonna go on vacation, so I'm gonna eat like crap, I'm gonna drink all the drinks, and I'm just not gonna do self-care. What is this type of vacation? So I'm gonna go trash myself, so I'll be right back and come back to try to heal myself. Don't do this. Like, can you just do vacation feeling awesome all of the time?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna have a trash day. What does that mean? Why would you even have that? Why? Why would, like, that's a horrible name, by the way. My friend told me that the other day. I'm like, are you serious? Oh yeah, I have a trash day every once in a while. So she just eats all the trash she wants. And and it's like, no, don't do this. I'm telling you, you don't have to. So just try to, bring the wellness with you. Your lifestyle never leaves, right? It comes with you. So another one, Olivia, rest and managing stress. Chris, talk about sleep.
sleep is extremely important. So Olivia and I have this discussion a lot. At least in the beginning of our relationship, we did, because I was big on sleep. I was always used to going to sleep by like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. But
Just like Olivia.
oh yeah, right. Olivia would go to bed like at 6 in the morning.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but I mean, she was working. She was being productive. It wasn't like she was just up doing nothing. But it was getting unhealthy for her. Like sometimes when she would go days without sleeping, I remember that's when like this was probably like last year, a year and a half ago. She started getting these blisters on her hands, and at first she didn't really know why. And then we figured out that it was a lack of actually vitamins and sleep. So when she started getting on a regular um, daily, like changing her daily habits of sleeping and going to bed earlier and taking her vitamins, it actually just went away right away. So it's
Yeah,
extremely important.
I think I've gotten better. I sleep at 2 or 3 in the morning now. It's great.
No,
But let me give
she
you
goes
a
to bed
tip.
a little bit earlier,
Yeah, we're working on it.
and I'm always like, babe, I'm waiting for you. Come to bed. So we help each other.
I can have that little problem too. It's just because we are like it's endless, right? Our amount of energy. We can just go for hours and hours. But here's the thing. And I finally stopped breastfeeding my third baby. So I had been pregnant and breastfeeding for the past 7 years. April, done. I was like
Congratulations!
fireworks, right? Like, oh my gosh.
You're
Because
free.
you guys followed the crazy trials of trying to stop breastfeeding. And I loved it, guys. I loved it so much. I felt a little guilty, but hey, if you're in the same boat as me, just do it. If you're tired of it, you're done. Don't do it. Don't do it with not wanting it because it's not fun. Then a friend of mine was talking to, she's a doctor here, and she was like, so just so you know, I'm so glad that you stopped breastfeeding the baby because some of the most serious potential problems that are connected to sleep deprivation and chronic sleep deprivation, which is my was my situation, it's not anymore, especially for moms. I swear it's kind of like miracles, right, that happens to mothers, because I don't know how we are able to function, but we do. And these little children are alive and very well and healthy and very well fed. So but you can connect it to high blood pressure. And I really worry about my mom because that's how she lost her vision, right? She had an episode with high blood pressure and she went blind. So that's serious. Diabetes, heart attack, heart failure, stroke. My mom also had a stroke. And weight. So when women come to me and they say, I keep trying to lose weight, but I can't. A lot to, and I ask them first thing, how do you sleep? So obesity is connected to sleep deprivation. Then it comes depression, anxiety, right? And immunity. And people ask me, oh, what do you use to better your libido? Sleep. That's a good way to start. Like if you sleep, you know. So a lot of it is connected to sleep, even your appearance. You age 6 times faster if you don't sleep at least 7 hours a night. So I think I sold sleep. Yeah, guys, you can buy some sleep from me anytime. Okay?
Sold.
So please sleep. Sleep is important. But if you have a hard time sleeping, and I'll give Luke's story. So Luke is my husband. I love my husband. He's amazing. He's my best friend. We've known each other since 2006. And we were friends for 8 years before we kissed for the first time. And yes, I made the move because he's so shy. If I didn't make the move, we're probably still friends at this point. And but no, we kissed for the first time and I was pregnant 4 months later. Crazy, right? Yeah, it was really cool. So he didn't sleep more than 4 hours every night when we met. Then I told him to start taking DDR Prime. We talked about DDR Prime here, guys. It's DDR is DNA damage repair. That's the blend name is. So he started taking that, and in a short week, he started sleeping 8 hours. So you don't have to wait for like a long, long time for the results, just in a week. And this is a cool thing about using some natural solutions like essential oils is you might need it every day for a little while, but then your body will kind of self-regulate and you don't need it all the time. So Luke doesn't take it anymore. Oh, granted, we're a little tired. We have 3 kids, so I'm pretty sure poor guy will just sleep sitting down at this point. But he didn't need to take it every single day. Then he started doing one day every other day, and then twice a week, and then sometimes when he needs it, right? Um, some of the people that I have jumped on here before, they said that. They said, I started with a larger amount, and then now I don't even have to do it all the time. So that's something really cool to kind of keep in mind, right? We can give the body what it needs, and then it will self regulate. So the next one, Olivia, of the our wellness pyramid is we talked about exercise and we have reducing toxic load. Oh, that's my favorite.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
That is my favorite. So talk a little bit about that.
So reducing toxic load is now we're talking about so up until this point we were talking about nutrition, exercise, sleep, managing stress. So all those things are internal. Those are things that directly pertain to your own body. And now we're getting into toxic load, which yes, it does pertain to your own body. So that means things like smoking, drinking, all the toxins that you could put in your body, but it also means the products that we're using in the home, right? So it's all of the different things that might be in your toothpaste, for example, something that you are hopefully using twice a day could have something on the back that says, if swallowed, call poison control. This is something that you put in your mouth every single day, twice a day. If that doesn't concern you, I'm not sure what should. Something that you put in your mouth twice a day, toothpaste, and on the back, a typical toothpaste container will say, if swallowed, something you put in your mouth every day, twice, call Poison Control Center. That is crazy. And that's just one example. There's also your dish soap. There's your laundry soap. All kinds of different things that cause issues. I also used to be obsessed with the plugins. Did I ever tell you that, Pam? I was obsessed with these plugins that you would plug into the wall, and I would buy them in bulk, like Costco style. I would buy Airwick. I'll say the brand. So I would buy Airwick from Costco in bulk, and this is when I was teaching little children, small children. Did you know that there are studies out there that say that if you have these plugins, their test scores are lower? Their test scores are lower when they use these Airwick plugins in their house. And so, a very wonderful mom that I used to work with because she had 4 children, I taught them piano, and and she came in one day and she said, "Oh my goodness, it smells toxic in here, like you're using Airwick." And at the time, honestly, I was extremely ignorant. And I just thought, oh my goodness, this mom is so crazy. She thinks that this is going to cause lower test scores. She's absolutely insane. And then I was like, and she's like, and it causes cancer. I was like, well, everything causes cancer. Like, I was one of those people. I was one of those super ignorant, annoying. Back in the day, we didn't have the term Karens. And I don't even know how I feel about the term Karen because I actually know a Karen. She's really nice. But anyway, so I was like,
Me too.
yeah, and I was like, oh, I don't want to use that word. Anyway, so I was like, oh my gosh, you're ridiculous. Everything causes cancer. What do you mean? And these lower test scores, yeah, right. I didn't even bother to fact check it, to double check. Just do a simple Google search. Do Airwick plugins cause lower test scores? Yes, they do. It's been proven in studies. And I kept on going. And one day she just came into my studio and just yanked it out of the plug. And I was like, oh my gosh, did you just walk into my place and unplug my precious plug-in? Like that's how weird it was. Like I was so oddly addicted to the stupid plug-in that was obviously very bad for not just me, but the kids that I was teaching.
Especially you with all your respiratory issues.
And at that
Those
time,
things.
yeah, and then you don't
I'm
think
that
about
mom. I'm that mom.
right? And I had all these issues, and I was using the plugins, and I was using really every toxin that you could think of that you don't even think are toxins. Oh, by the way, by toxins I don't mean like smoking or drinking. I never did that in my entire life, but toxins like toxic toothpaste, toxic plugins, toxic whatever it is that I thought was just normal everyday hand soap, things that you would have never thought had toxins in them, and I had them
But you touch them all the time.
every day. It's
How
on your
about how
skin.
about makeup? How about makeup?
Makeup too. See, I don't even wear that thanks to the pandemic. Thank you, pandemic. Now that I know that I never have to wear makeup again, this is fantastic.
Well, I wear it sometimes. I had to do some
Oh, it's
pictures today,
beautiful.
but it's 100% pure, and that one I approve, and they're awesome. I really wish doTERRA had makeup, but hey, okay. Well,
So
let's
I
see.
was actually big into candles when we first met,
That's right.
and Olivia immediately. Well, not when we first met, because we met like Airbnb. Long story short, I was her
No, no,
host.
no,
We
no, no.
shared a
Go back,
room.
go back. Do you guys
Oh, let's
know?
rewind. What was that
Do you
about?
guys know? Do you guys know how they met? Do you guys know how they met? Let's talk about it.
I was there. Okay, so I was. Long story short, my roommate ended up moving out like right away, abruptly, and I was like, "Oh, how am I going to pay rent? I just got out of the Navy." And then I was like, "Okay, I'll put my spare bedroom on Airbnb." And then it just so happens that Olivia happened to be my first guest, and at that time, there's a lot more that goes into the story. But at
Yeah.
that time, I was super into candles, so now I can only imagine what she thought of when I kept lighting candles while she was staying there for the 4 days.
Oh, and then I'm also one of those people that's not very I'm not a very imposing person. So it takes people a very long time it takes not people, it takes me a very, 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 very long time to even tell you what my opinions are because of how fearful I am of judgment. Probably because of how judgmental I was before, but now I care less. Like I don't really care that much anymore. But I do care to a certain extent. Like the public definitely doesn't know that I have any political opinions or anything about yeah. So even to my own husband, now husband, but he was my boyfriend at the time. I even said it in the most gentle way. Like he loved candles. So whenever Bed Bath and
Love
what was it?
candles.
What was it?
Uh,
Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body
They
Works.
would have these candle sales, and I'd be like, oh well, if you like it, go and do your thing.
I
Like
was
go.
there, 50% off. I'd
Yeah.
come back with like 15 candles. I'm not kidding. I had enough to last me till like the next sale. They do it like twice a year. I was huge, and then I had all these candles, and then Olivia was like, "Do you know about like the toxins that are released from these candles, right?" And this was after we had already been dating for a few months, and
It was a
it was
while.
yeah. Well, when we moved in together, you weren't. Were you allowing me to light candles? I don't
No, no,
remember.
I
I
would.
don't think
You
so.
you can even now if you really wanted to light a candle, I
But I
wouldn't
wouldn't,
be
because she
opposed.
just explained to me like how you are inhaling, and this is like going in your body. And I'm always like health conscious, right? But even though I was so healthy at the time with my food and working out and sleep and all this kind of these different types of things, I didn't even think about what this was actually doing to me. And then we even
The
spoke about this yesterday with my cousin who's a doctor, and he was talking about how there's studies, not necessarily with the candles, but we were talking more like food, right? Because we were
Hmm.
also talking about toxic load in food, right? And fast food, for example, like, and how it's processed and not actually real, like it is, but it's not, right? And then
Mhm.
how there's studies, and it's actually been linked to like ADHD and like all these other like illnesses that people get from just the food they eat. And the candles, the things that you plug into the wall that you don't even think about,
Hmm.
just because it smells nice.
Yeah,
Perfume,
but
you
you
know?
know the craziest one that is usually in candles and perfume and a lot of cosmetics is formaldehyde.
Mm.
Ew, that's used to preserve dead bodies, y'all.
Exactly. Yes, and you're putting on your face every single day. Don't do that. No, you're awesome. You don't deserve that.
Yeah,
So
no.
I used to put
there.
on a lot of cologne. I was that,
Oh
the
God.
Hispanics that be like, that was me. I'd be like all over the place. I don't even
No,
wear
no.
cologne anymore. I just put on some oils all over.
Oh, I'm so
Some
proud. So
Amavi is my
now,
favorite.
when we have BOGOs, that's 50% off in doTERRA. Chris
No, there you
loads up
go.
his cart. He's
I
like
do.
all about the BOGOs.
I
Okay,
do.
so he switched. I'm so proud. And Stephen was like, When I said the word office meeting, I did assume it. And I apologize. I heard you laughing. Yes, I can be really funny because I can be a comedian in a good way. I'm Canadian.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, going back to the reducing toxic load, there are a lot of toxic chemicals that are hidden, especially when Olivia was speaking about toothpaste. And we do have a week of education free. All of our content is free. So if you are willing to learn more, this is my mission in life. This is our mission in life, is to bring awareness and education to people in a very simple way. So we have 7 days of education. It's called Low Tox Living, and I talk about specifically about toothpaste. So when I started doing my research on toothpaste, I never thought I could talk so much about toothpaste. I was really intrigued, but a lot of the toothpastes are sweet, and the sweeteners they use are awful for you. A lot of the abrasives that are also the whitening agents in there are terrible for the enamel of your teeth, on top of also being bad for the environment. So it's just bad. Just going natural. There's never gonna be anything bad about going natural. Just go natural, right? Also in cosmetics, body soap that you do use every day. And by the way, my grandma is so cute. My grandma is 94, and I was talking about Deep Blue the other day, and my grandma brings me customers all the time. She is one of my best salespeople ever. So she was like, "Oh, we always have two Deep Blues, two, two that I'm using, and two in the cabinet, right?" I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool, grandma, right?" She has her orders coming every month, and so she goes to my aunt. Of course, we have to have it. It's like soap. Do you have just one soap and then you go, oh man, I'm not going to take a shower today because I have no soap? You have to have a backup. So that's grandma's knowledge for you. She dropped some knowledge yesterday. I'm like, that's good. You have to keep your
Excellent.
soap stocked up. So there's parabens. Do we say that in English? Is that right?
Yep, parabens.
Parabens in Portuguese means happy birthday.
Yeah, parabéns.
Parabens.
Congrats.
Congrats. And also coloring and triclosan that finally was banned, right? It's like this antibacterial thing, but it's also an endocrine disruptor. Sorry, my,
Hmm.
my English is okay sometimes,
Your
but
English is perfect.
oh yeah, it's getting there. Not perfect, but it is a skin irritant, and it can lead to tumor growth in mammals. So don't use that. Don't use that. But it's not something that we talk about. It's not something that is posted on places, right? For you to learn, like how they do all these commercials about how some of the worst products are good for you. This is bad for you. Okay, this is bad.
Exactly.
So if you want to be part of the Low Tox week, talk to Olivia. She can add you to the Low Tox week. We run it on Instagram, and super easy. You can follow for 7 days and lots of cool info in there.
Yeah.
Also, oh, sunscreen. I know this is like a little soapbox. Ooh, sunscreen.
Sunscreen's a tough time. And
Ooh.
Asian people really love sunscreen.
Oh boy.
Sunscreen's a
But
tough one because, yeah,
but
you,
yeah, if you really do your research, then you have very clear answers. But
hmm
basically, my research says they do more damage to the body and to the planet than protecting, than good.
Yeah. That's why my next DIY project is going to be a natural sunscreen made from scratch. I already have all the ingredients ready to go. I think doTERRA even gave us this awesome recipe not so long ago. And so I'm going to try to make my own sunscreen just because it's just
Because you can.
nasty. Yeah, we
Because you
can.
can.
We have the power to do this, everyone. Once I figured out that we have the power to not be completely 100% reliant on corporate companies making all of our products, that was super empowering. That is just on another level of empowering. Like, I feel like because of all these things that we have, all of this knowledge that we have access to, we have this ability to say one day we couldn't access these things, which is not impossible, I know what to do. If I have a gallon of vinegar lying around or like, olive oil, like I will know how to use this and turn it into something we can use that we it and turn it into a product that we may have been familiar with before when we were dependent on corporate companies making all of our things and
And by
turn
the
it into
way,
something.
Olivia has a whole arsenal of things to do DIYs. So
I
she has
do.
all the cups and all the pots and all the mason jars and all the tools. It's super fun to go to Olivia's house to do DIYs.
And
And it's kind of like the second phase, right? Of using oils. You start with the oils and then you go into DIY and then you go into low tox living.
yeah, I think I might have worked that backwards because I was totally into it, right? Before I found doTERRA and I found doTERRA and it just got even more crazy because it was like, oh my gosh, these oils do work. The oils I was using before did not work. So these are much better. And so the DIY game is definitely elevated to another level. But clearly, I have thought about all kinds of different apocalypse situations and I'm ready for it.
Yes, yes. And one that she did that was, it went viral, the
That's right.
wipes.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
was
did
super.
DIY disinfectant wipes because we were in a little situation when we thought the world was ending because of this very strange situation that we've been going through since 2020. And nobody could find disinfectant wipes. So I created a video that taught people how to make disinfectant wipes with just some paper towels and some ingredients. And you could make disinfectant wipes. And I was like, okay, hey,
And some oils, which were the thing
yes,
to use. And guys,
yes,
this is how Olivia taught me how to edit videos because then I did a voiceover in Portuguese. Remember that?
yeah,
And then my career in Instagram it started like that. My career, I'm so funny. I have
it
no career
is.
on Instagram.
It
Um,
is.
but then this is how it started. And it took me about 2 hours to edit a video in the beginning. Now I can do it in like 15 seconds.
Right? And
You
it's
just keep
brilliant.
trying, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep
I
doing it.
love it. You're like so creative with it too. You have like different people tossing oils all around in different directions. It's awesome. I love it.
I love it too. But that's the thing that I found that I can communicate better is through little videos. So if I do the stories, it's like little snippets. And I also talk about mission a lot. Like what's the mission? What's the purpose of doing this thing right now? So today was to spread love because that's what I do in my classes. So then I put mission, spread love. And usually when I'm doing a training for the teams is mission to empower women to liberate women in the world, whatever it is that's connected to my work. I always put the mission behind it. So everything that we do has a meaning and a mission behind it. Going back
Always.
to the candles. So the last thing about candles is it does have a lot of carcinogens when you burn it, and it's in the air. You know that smell of drying sheets?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so bad for you. So
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. I
Don't
don't
do
like
it.
those either. I love wool balls.
Yes, wool balls with some lavender or purified,
Yeah.
amazing,
Yep.
right? So then we today covered the wellness pyramid, and the last thing is well, two things: informed self care, which is what you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? So learning about if you have a body, you should be learning about this. If you're here, you should be learning about this. And proactive medical care. I talked about this today. My children have never been to a hospital, like a structure hospital. They don't know. They just went to visit my grandma when they were very little. The third one never has never been to a hospital. So when we talk about proactive medical care, not necessarily that. It's whatever it is that you do to check your numbers and to follow up with the professional that you have chosen to be the person to follow your family. And we're lucky to have an amazing doctor that comes to our house. And everyone should have that. So it is important to be able to be proactive in this role right? Of this, again, self responsibility. That's how we started this talk, and being able to get the proper information for you to take the proper action, right? So, what is your proactive medical care right now, guys?
So we have, because we travel so much, the closest thing to proactive medical care for us is that we are constantly being tested for that thing that we're always being tested for these days. I'm actually scared to talk about this. Can you believe the kind of censorship that we're going through in this world right now? I'm scared to say the word. I'm
Yeah.
legitimately afraid to say or mention this word at all, but we're constantly being tested for it because we're constantly traveling, and whether, honestly, in my opinion, and from the research that I have been doing on a daily basis, Chris can attest to this. I am kind of obsessed with the research that's going on with different studies and different results of things. And honestly, whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, it is really important to still continue to test, because it's very obvious that whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, and whether or not the news is telling you what to think or not, you should probably still get tested, especially if you're constantly being exposed. You are definitely not invincible in any way, not either of those statuses, because it's really coming out kind of the same, especially the results that are coming out in Israel. So that is what we're constantly doing in these times. We're constantly testing and making sure that we are healthy, and we are constantly supplementing too, to make sure that our immune systems are on point. And in addition to that, tomorrow I'm actually going in for an antibody test. So I actually have no idea if I have the antibodies or not, but I will tell you that
Do
you do. Okay, yeah, see, so I have not actually tested to see if I even have the antibodies, but I will tell you that I have been exposed now over and over and over and over again, and I have not
No symptoms.
no I have no
Nothing.
symptoms. I haven't contracted it, and I haven't tested positive one time in this entire situation. And I was inspired to actually mention this and talk about this because of a podcast we were listening to when Joe Rogan was interviewing Dr. Rhonda Patrick. And he mentioned this, and he was saying how he was constantly being exposed to people who were positive, that tested positive, and he just never got it, and he never had antibodies. And I was wondering if I was in the same boat. And it was just that I live a healthy lifestyle. Like I'm very conscious of it, and I was just curious as to what that was going to be like. And that's really the most that we'll see medical professionals in these days, and of course an annual checkup to make sure that all of my numbers are good. In the last one that I had, everything is quote unquote perfect according to my doctor. Therefore, whatever I'm doing, I should keep on doing. Right? So,
awesome. And checking the numbers is really fun and cool because every year it gets better as you start taking care of yourself. And your professionals, the professionals that help you, they're like, this is pretty awesome. So just keep doing what you're doing. That's every single time. When I was pregnant, they said that over and over again. But going back to the things that we have been able and not been able to openly talk about or say, um, I believe it all starts at home. Doesn't really matter what you're going to tell the world at this point, but start taking care of your home first. Same thing with charity. Charity begins at home. So I think we need to take care of our home first to be able to impact the whole. And Chris was in the military, and I thank you for your services. And that's something that has come up really a lot the past week because of everything that's happening. So whether or not you follow things that are happening in the world, I want to say that it touches me. It got me really upset, especially hearing the parents of the people that have lost their children. And and as a mother, I cannot even fathom going through it. So yes, we have people that are losing their lives over all this craziness that we're going that's happening in the world. So I think ultimately is take care of you. You need to take care of yourself. So if the message wasn't clear to now, I don't know if when you're gonna be able to understand that. So take care of yourself and take care of your home. Take care of the people you love. And one thing that I've done this past week is to anchor in my decisions and my commitment, my deep level of commitment, because I'm obsessed about what I do, and to keep doing what I do, because that's my way of impacting the whole. This is my way. Yes.
I agree.
So I'm sending so much love to all the military, all the people that have served the United States of America. And I love America. I'm not American, but I love America. We have it good in America. I love United States, and I'm so very grateful for it.
Me too. And that is coming from someone who has lived in Brazil for most of your life, right? Actually, no, well, like half of your life.
Yeah, at 17 years in Brazil, and then 20 years in the United States.
Oh,
So I
more
have more
years.
time in the US than I have in Brazil. But I absolutely love this country. I love United States. I love Brazil too, but I have a special place for the US. So take
Yeah,
care of the country, because it's a good place to be. Yeah.
I agree.
Question: instead of scented dryer sheets, what should I use, Avi?
So there are these things called uh, wool dryer balls, and you can get them from any store. You can get them from Walmart, or you can get them from a lot of different stores. You can get them on Amazon, and they're awesome. You can just get those steel balls, and then you put a few drops of. Oh, he has them. See, we have them too. Chris doesn't usually use these, but you just grab these, grab your favorite essential oil scent, or I don't even want to call it a scent. I feel like scent is fake or something, but it is a scent. So grab your favorite essential oil, put a few drops on here. I'm really intense, so I actually like to put like 20 drops, and then I throw this in the dryer with your clothes, and it is really awesome. It gets rid of the static. It makes your clothes really fresh, and it's also really inexpensive. Little
Yes,
wool balls. Yeah.
and
You
you're
can use
not
them over and over
harming,
again.
Mm-hmm.
and you're not harming the environment. You're not harming your neighbors, because
Your
when my
body, you're not
neighbors
harming your
do
body.
their laundry and we smell that, I we leave the house. I can't take it. I have a family friend who controlled their IBS by natural methods instead of taking all these prescribed drugs. I agree, natural stuff is way better. I concur, Avi. I absolutely agree. It is so true. Um,
Oh, you're welcome, Ollie. And Pam. I didn't say.
yeah, so Avi gave us a bunch of awards. Oh, and every single time somebody donates here, it goes to Healing Hands Foundation. This is our little Healing Hands Day.
Exactly. It's so fun.
Awesome. Okay, my love. So, anything else that we want to touch on?
I think that was a pretty thorough explanation of the wellness pyramid that we love to discuss and go over. It is from our Live Guide. So if you've never seen that before, I can also send that to you. It's also free. And you can take a look at that, and you can even use that and rate yourself from a 1 to 10 scale on each level of that pyramid, that wellness pyramid, to see where you stand and what we need to work on, and how to get everything to a 10, because we're
So,
extreme like that.
we're just extreme like that. But hey,
Yes.
that quote that came up a lot today this week, and I ended up just putting on my one of my presentations when I talk about the business of doTERRA. How do we do our business? And anytime you want to learn about the business, of course, that's one of my passions in life, is to be able to tell people that we have choices. There are different ways to live, and the way that you work and the things you do for work basically dictates how you live your life. Because if you're not happy with what you work with, you are miserable. That's basically how I was. But then Margaret Mead, um, she was an anthropologist, right? And she also is an author and a speaker. And she in the mass media, I think it's like 70s. That's when she was huge. But there is one quote that David Sterling quoted a few times, and this has been coming up a lot: is never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. I fully, truly believe that. So we might sound crazy to some of you, but hey, this is my way of changing the world. And we want to learn your way too. So talk to us, put in the comments what you're doing, what are the things that you are doing with your communities to be able to create this positive impact, because we need you. We need your light. The world needs your light more than ever. We need to shine our light really, really bright. Um,
Yes,
Avi, Olivia, I'm thinking a ton about maybe getting that diffuser. Get the diffuser.
for sure.
Yes,
It's about time, Avi.
yes, get the diffuser. Get the diffuser.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, by the way, talking about supplements, just one little thought. If you stop that one habit every single day that costs about $5, that brings you zero health, zero, you can buy your supplements every month.
That's so true.
That's a good exchange. So,
Way better exchange.
Yes, I think
where
so.
are you gonna put your money?
Yep, take the latte factor out, put the vitamin factor in. Actually, you'd be
Yeah,
spending less.
yeah, totally. Look, Avi, getting a $5 foot long is something I should stop. Well, go stop eating.
Yeah, no, no, no. Food is
At
good.
least eat.
What happened?
Oh,
And we got stopped on Instagram
oh.
again.
What ending?
So,
Well, we're still live on
but
Hacks.
Mute it? Mute it?
but this time it saved our video on Instagram.
Perfect. Awesome.
Oh wow, that would have sucked.
And I have a backup. So it's actually still on my Instagram through Haps.
Wait, did it cut
Amazing.
off or are we live?
No, we're still live.
Oh, we're still live. Whoops.
So,
Okay.
Miss Olivia, anything else for today, everybody?
I think that was good. Oh, obvious. How was that ceremony yesterday? We had a chakra nourishing ceremony in San Diego yesterday. It was absolutely incredible. It was so relaxing, so nourishing, so incredibly important, I think, for the community. I think that was something that was needed, a chakra nourishing ceremony. So it went really well. It was missing you though, Avi. Next time you're coming, you've got to come down to
I love
SD,
chakra stuff.
right? It was
Did
missing
you bring
you.
your bowl? Did you bring your singing bowls?
Oh yes, I brought all seven of them, and none of them broke this time. So it was meant to be. We're playing each bowl for each chakra. It was very, very fun. Well, it was fun because we try to make it funny too, but not for the relaxing parts. Those were relaxing, and it was
Pam,
great.
we still have one of your bowls or two,
We
whichever ones you
do.
left here.
We have some things of yours that are sound
Yeah,
healing
and the
things,
triangle one,
and the triangle thing.
the pyramid
Yes,
looking.
I know it's in there. I will come rescue it at some point.
We'll keep it
Actually,
safe.
I'm bringing that to Brazil the next time we're coming through, which will be in just a few days, guys. Who's coming to the doTERRA convention?
That's right. Me
Oh, my mama's going.
and dear
Mommy's
Lace,
coming.
mommy dear Lace.
Dirle,
Debbie's
nos
gonna be
vemos
there.
en Utah.
Debbie's coming. Emily's
Emily's coming.
coming. It's gonna be so fun.
Hey, if you are in doTERRA and you've never been to a convention, that is a must. It's a must.
Totally.
You have to go. You
Yeah.
know, people in Brazil, I have my team here. They were not able to get in because of this whole thing, because they would have to
Mm.
do like 14-day quarantine and all of that. But they were like, I cannot believe Some people have a chance to go and they're choosing not to.
I
No
know a few
pressure.
of those.
Yeah, we know one or two of those
I know
people.
a
It's
few of those.
but it's okay. We
It's okay.
understand.
Oh,
I want them
guys,
to come. Yeah. I just want them to go so bad because they're missing out on a lot, and I'm like, you really want to go, you just don't know. Like, trust me, you want to be there.
And this is from someone who has never gone to convention, and he's
I sound like I've been there to
yeah,
every
you
single
he
one.
sounds like he's
Since the
been there. But I mean, you went to an incentive trip, which I think that gives you kind of a glimpse of what that's going to be like. But convention is just a whole nother level, and
everyone
can't
is so amazing. I want to go see everyone
yeah,
no,
and all the
Chris is
events.
no, Chris, get ready for your brain to explode. You're gonna get
yeah,
there and you're gonna be like what? Does this
yeah,
really exist? It
yeah.
is
It's
incredible.
yep, yep.
It is
I can't
incredible.
even describe it. You just have to be there.
And you guys are walking diamond.
Yeah, we
We're
have such
having
a
a
story.
diamond party in my room
Yes.
on the gala night. It's a girl party for now, guys, because showering up and all that.
What? What are you talking about? Am I gonna party by myself? I'm like the only guy there.
No, there is Marcus,
No, I'm kidding. I know there's some guys coming.
Luke. You guys go
John
there,
is
guys.
coming. I think.
There's John,
Yeah,
and no, but of course, after the girls are dressed,
of
y'all are
course.
welcome to celebrate with some kombucha. We'll do a kombucha toast.
Yes.
Avi, Jake Paul won. Sorry.
No, he didn't.
The fight.
Oh my
There's a fight.
god. No, I have to. Okay, all right. I gotta go watch this. There's no way. Did he really win?
There's no way. He really won.
There's no way, Avi. You're kidding, right? That's so crazy.
That's a
I have
setup.
to. I have to go watch this fight.
No, just kidding. I'm sure he
Sorry.
worked really hard. Okay. All right. So I think that's it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening in and watching, and we'll talk to you next Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific time.
Hang on, Olivia. Are we on a podcast too?
I'm going to turn this into a podcast. Yes.
Oh, I thought we were recording live. That's so exciting. Talk about the podcast.
Oh, yes. So after many years of researching, this is what I do. I just spend a lot of time researching things and I don't tell anybody what I'm doing because I'm doing so many things that if I talked about everything I was doing, your brain would explode. That's what would happen. So podcasting is one of the things that I've been researching for a while. And so once we thought about this whole oily hour thing, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this would be such a great podcast." And so I started diving into it and then one day I just decided that I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to dive even deeper into this and see what happens. So I spent 5 hours creating our whole podcast thing. So we have this podcast called Oily Hour that you can find on Spotify and now, I guess, several other platforms. So if you go to oilyhour.wordpress.com, you can go to all that and find all the information there. And it will take you to our podcast. And we already have one trailer episode ready to go. I took 5 hours to do this. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think it looks like 5 hours, but it was 5 hours. And I sat there and recorded that trailer probably
That is
about
so exciting.
100
Um,
times.
we use Anchor. That was the
Yes.
one that we started using, and
Yep.
we have a podcast starting on Thursday with the Brazil leader here. Susana is her name. She she and I are doing, but it's in Portuguese. But she's a powerhouse, and she is a businesswoman, but also a super incredible, giving, loving human being. And we chose the name for our podcast, but I can't say it right now. We're gonna talk about it on Thursday.
That's awesome. So I'm glad you already know what the anchor thing is. I didn't want to overwhelm anybody. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let that go. But now that I know you know what anchor is, next time we'll have something recording on Anchor just because the audio I think would be better. But for today's episode, I'll just take and cut what I can and go from there because I think that'll work. that yeah, we can actually record an episode, me from LA and you in Brazil, straight through Anchor, and that would be an episode that I can cut and put together. So it's really, really cool. Anchor is awesome.
Anchors really cool. All right,
Yeah.
my love. So I will see you in a few days. Actually, next Sunday we'll be here
Yes.
again for our early hour. And if there's anything specific that you guys want to talk about, always put on the chat, send it to Olivia, and we'll talk about it on the day of.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, I love you.
Love you. Bye, Avi.